You are the face of God. I hold you in my heart. You are a part of me. You are the face of God. You are the face of God. I hold you in my heart. You are a part of me. You are the face of God. You are the face of God.
Tu es l'image de Dieu.
I hold you in my heart.
Tu es l'image de l'amour.
You are a part of me. You are the face of God. You are the face of God.
Tu sei la luce di Dio.
I hold you in my heart.
Tu sei il volto dell'amore.
You are a part of me. You are the face of God. You are the face of love.
The face of love.
I hold you in my heart. You are my family.
You are my family.
You are the face of
love. The face of love.
You are the face of love.
The face of love.
I hold you in my
heart. You in my heart.
You are my family.
You are my family.
You are the face of love.
The face of love.
You are the face of God.
The face of God.
I hold you in my heart.
You in my heart.
You are a part of me. You are the face of God.
The face of God.
You are the face of God.
Eres la luz de Dios.
I hold you in my heart.
Eres la cara del amor.
You are a part of me. You are the face of God. You are the face of God. You are the face of God. You are the face
Tu
of
sei la luce di Dio.
You are the face
You
of
are the
God.
face of God.
You are the face
Tu
of
es
God.
l'image de Dieu.
You are the face
You
of
are the face of God.
You are the face
Tu
of
sei
God.
la luz de Dios.
You are the face
You
of God.
are the face of God.
You are the face
Tu
of God.
ruh khudai.
You are the face
You
of God.
are the face of God.
You are the face of God.
Eres la luz de Dios.
You are the face of You are the face of God. I hold you in my heart. You are a part of me. You are the face of God. You are the face of God. I hold you in my heart. You are a part of me. You are the face of God. You are the face of God.
Tu es l'image de Dieu.
I hold you in my heart.
Tu es l'image de l'amour.
You are a part of me. You are the face of God. You are the face of God.
Tu sei la luce di Dio.
I hold you in my heart.
Tu sei il volto dell'amore.
You are a part of me. You are the face of God. You are the face of love.
The face of love.
I hold you in my heart. You are my family.
You are my family.
You are the face of
love. The face of love.
You are the face of love.
The face of love.
I hold you in my
heart. You in my heart.
You are my family.
You are my family.
You are the face of love.
The face of love.
You are the face of God.
The face of God.
I hold you in my heart.
You in my heart.
You are a part of me.
A part of me.
You are the face of God.
The face of God.
You are the face of God.
Eres la luz de Dios.
I hold you in my heart.
Eres la cara del amor.
You are a part of me. You are the face of God. You are the face of God. You are the face of God. You are the face
Tu
of
sei la luce di Dio.
You are the face
You
of
are the
God.
face of God.
You are the face
Tu
of
es
God.
l'image de Dieu.
You are the face
You
of
are the face of God.
You are the face
Tu
of
sei
God.
la luz de Dio.
You are the face
You
of God.
are the face of God.
You are the face
Tu
of God.
es خدایی.
You are the face
You
of
are the face of God.
You are the face of
Eres la luz de Dios.
You are the face of
Good morning, and welcome to Spiritual Life Center, a church that love is building.
Surely the presence of the Lord is in this place. I can feel God's mighty power and God's grace. I can hear the brush of angels' wings. I see glory on each face. Surely the presence of the Lord is in this place.
Dear God, you spoke through the prophet Isaiah, saying, I will lead the blind by a road they do not know. By paths they have not known, I will guide them. I will turn the darkness before them into light, the rough places into level ground. These are the things I will do, and I will not forsake them. Loving Spirit, gratefully we accept your promise to guide us toward our greater good. We ask that you open our minds and hearts to learn what we must do to empower your presence and power in our lives. Give us the strength and the wisdom to practice your truth effectively to the benefit of ourselves and of all persons. Thank you, God. Amen.
I've got my mind made up and I won't turn back, 'cause I want to live with Spirit all day. I've got my mind made up and I won't turn back, 'cause I want to live with Spirit all day. I've got my mind made up and I won't turn back, 'cause I want to live with Spirit all day. I've got my mind made up and I won't turn back, 'cause I want to live with Spirit all day. Goodbye, world, I stay no longer with you. Goodbye, erring ways, I stay no longer with you. I've made up my mind to go God's way the rest of my life. I've made up my mind to go God's way the rest of my life. Goodbye, world, I stay no longer with you. Goodbye, erring ways, I stay no longer with you. I've made up my mind to go God's way the rest of my life. I've made up my mind to go God's way the rest of my life. I've made up my mind to go God's way the rest of my life.
I invite you to join me this morning in prayer. In the book of Matthew, Jesus left specific instructions on how to pray. He spoke of entering a secret place to make a conscious connection with our God. He said, "Whenever you pray, go into your room and shut the door." Matthew, verse 6. Go into the place where there is only you and God, and shut out all of the clamor of outer things, including your own thoughts. This inner space is that perfect, unchanging part of you that waits like a safe harbor, welcoming you in calm or in a storm, in peace or in distress. God, as I meet you in the quiet of this sacred moment, I feel your presence in and around me. And I truly know that your presence is within and around those I love and care for. You, dear God, are my life, my light, my peace, the very harmony that I seek in all areas of my life, and with each person I come in contact with. In you, I find everything I need. You are the fulfillment of my every dream, the deepest longing of my heart. Your everlasting life courses through me, renewing and restoring my body temple. Your light, the light of my heavenly Creator, shines through me with clarity. It radiates on my face, and illuminates my path. Your love speaking in my soul echoes through my every thought and is heard in the words that I speak. Your peace, it fills my heart to fullness. It creates an aura of harmony and understanding in and around me. My faith, God, is solely in you. In you do I trust. And now, in the silence of this moment, I hear your words at the depth of my being. You are precious in my sight and honored, and I love you. Do not fear. I am with you. And so I listen in the silence. In the silence. As I bring my attention back to this place, I'm aware of how very much I am loved, knowing that I am accepted just the way I am, not for what I do or who I am, but because of the one truth. You love me because I am. Knowing this, I do not fear for myself or for those I love, because I place everything in your loving hands, knowing that you are caring for us today, tomorrow, and forever. I take your peace, your power, your love, your harmony into my day, and I live from the Christ center in me. For your many blessings in my life, and for your affirmation of your loving presence in my life, I say thank you, God. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And now let us join together as we sing and pray the Lord's Prayer.
Our Father, which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our debts as we forgive our debtors. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom and the power and the glory forever. Amen. Many nights we've prayed with no proof anyone could hear. In our hearts a hopeful song we barely understood. Now we are not afraid, although we know there's much to fear. We were moving mountains long before we knew we could. There can be miracles when you believe. Though hope is frail, it's hard to kill. Who knows what miracles you can achieve when you believe? Somehow you will. You will when you believe. In this time of fear, when prayer so often proves in vain, hope seems like the summer bird too swiftly flown away. Yet now I am standing here, my heart so full I can't explain, seeking faith and speaking words I never thought I'd say. Yeah, there can be miracles when you believe. Though hope is frail, it's hard to kill. Who knows what miracles you can achieve when you believe? Somehow you will. You will when you believe. Oh, they don't always happen when you ask. And it's easy to give in to your fears. But when you're blinded by the pain, can't see the way, get through the rain, a small but still resilient voice says help is very near. There can be miracles when you believe. Though hope is frail, it's hard to kill. Who knows what miracles you can achieve when you believe? Somehow you will. Now you will. You will when you believe.
Hi there, Reverend Anita here. You know, everything we do, every time, for every single person has one thing in common that happens before whatever event it is takes place. Have you already guessed what it is? It's a thought. Sometimes it's a conscious thought. We might ask ourselves, is this the best choice I can make? Should I look for a new job? Ask for a raise? Maybe I should call in sick, or maybe I should just go in anyway. Other times, our thoughts come directly from our subconscious mind. We're on automatic pilot, so to speak. Our brains get very efficient at remembering things for us, so we no longer have to think about them consciously. This usually happens as a result of repetition. For example, have you ever driven home and when you pull in the driveway, you have no recollection of how you got there or what happened along the way? You've driven that road so many times, day after day, that it feels like you could do it with your eyes closed. A thought is the originator of everything that happens in our lives. And that's why they say thoughts become things. And that's also why it's important to listen to what we're thinking about. When I first came to a Unity church, I was pretty unhappy. And I was looking for somehow, some way, something to help me change all of this stuff that I didn't like that was going on all around me. I wanted to know why it was that I kept making these choices that turned out to be less than wonderful. I was looking for answers. Why was I so down on myself all the time? What was it that caused me to keep repeating over and over in my head the negative situations I wished I could just forget about? At Unity, I started to hear about the power of our thoughts, and then the concept of actually controlling my own thoughts. Prior to this, I'm not sure that idea had ever even occurred to me. And it didn't take long after learning about this concept for me to begin, very likely for the first time in my life, paying attention to my own thoughts. I love to learn. So I also began looking for books to help me better understand how my thoughts and what was going in my life were connected. And one of the first books I found was a little book called As a Man Thinketh, literally little. It was written in and published in 1903 by a man by the name of James Allen. And the very first thing in this book says this: mind is the master power that molds and makes, and man is mind, and evermore he takes the tool of thought, and shaping what he wills, brings forth 1,000 joys, 1,000 ills. He thinks in secret, and it comes to pass. Environment is but his looking glass. Wow. 1,000 joys, 1,000 ills. As the idea of my own thoughts being the origin of everything that was happening in my life, I began to pay attention. And as I listened to myself talk to myself, I was shocked and, quite honestly, a little appalled. I realized the things I was saying to myself about myself were often derogatory and self-defeating. And if it was true that thoughts become things, it was no wonder I was unhappy with myself and with what was going on all around me. So I studied this little book at depth. As the plant springs from and could not be without the seed, so every act of man springs from the hidden seeds of thought and could not have appeared without them. Act is the blossom of thought, and joy or suffering are its fruits. Our mind is like a garden, and our thoughts are the seeds. We can grow flowers or we can grow weeds. You might want to ask yourself, am I in the habit of listening to my own thinking? And what have I been telling myself lately? Oh, and by the way, did you know that our subconscious minds have absolutely zero sense of humor? We can grow flowers. We can think about things like, well, yeah, it's true. I've been on this planet for a few years, and I spent so much of my life working and providing for my family, but now I'm a mature adult and I finally have time to do so many of the things I never seemed to be able to fit into my schedule before. So maybe you're thinking and planning to visit all the places you've always wanted to see. Maybe you're working out more regularly, going to the gym, walking, biking. Maybe you're volunteering or finishing up all the honey-do lists you and your spouse have been talking about and putting off for years. Or maybe you're like me and you're able to spend more time in prayer and meditation. I do lots of reading and journaling. And when we think and do these kinds of things, then we can say to ourselves, you know what? These so-called golden years are pretty darn enjoyable. Or we can grow weeds. Maybe our thinking is more like, I can't believe I've gotten to be this old. And now I'm just bored. I don't have anything to do and I feel just totally useless. I want things to be like they used to be. Besides, with my luck, I'll probably get sick and be miserable for the rest of my life. And you know what? Our minds are like the proverbial genie in the bottle. It just crosses its arms, nods its head, and says, "As you wish, master." As a man thinketh actually comes from a Bible verse. Proverbs 23:7. For as he thinketh in his heart, so is he. Are you listening? Whatever we're spending time thinking about, believing to be true for ourselves, will prove to be true for us. I heard the story of a man named Jack. He worked at a railroad. He was a big man, big muscles, strong, tough. Everybody liked him. He was a good employee. He was always on time, a hard worker. The only problem with Jack was that he was one of the most pessimistic people you'd never want to meet. He worried all the time, always feared the worst, and was constantly thinking that something bad was going to happen. And it was one day, nice autumn day like it is now, and somebody was having a big party and everybody from the yard was invited. Jack was the only one left, just had to finish up a few things. And there was a refrigerated boxcar that had come in for maintenance, and it was sitting off by itself, not hooked up to any of the other trains. And somehow, Jack accidentally locked himself into that refrigerated boxcar. Now, when he realized he was locked inside, he went into panic mode. He screamed as loud as he could and pounded on the door so hard his fists and arms were bruised and battered. But there was nobody there to hear him. They'd all left to go to this party. And the more Jack thought about it, the colder he got. He tried everything he knew of to get out. Finally, there wasn't anything he could do except just sit down and wait for his inevitable death. He found an old piece of cardboard in the corner and had a pen in his pocket and wrote with a shaking hand, "I'm getting so cold, my body is turning numb, and if I don't get out of here soon, this is probably going to be the end." And sadly, it was. The next morning, they found Jack in the corner of the refrigerated boxcar, and when the autopsy was completed, it was learned that Jack had indeed frozen to death. But that's not the end of the story. The refrigerated boxcar Jack was trapped in wasn't even on. In fact, it hadn't been working for quite a while. The temperature in that night was only in the 40s. Jack froze to death in what could have been almost a normal fall night. It was a normal fall night, but he thought he was in a sub-zero boxcar. He thought he was going to die. He thought he didn't have a chance. So like it says in Job 3:25, "For the things I greatly feared have come upon me, and what I dreaded has come to pass. What we say when we talk to ourselves is responsible for creating how well we do in our lives. Statistically, as much as 77% of everything we say when we talk to ourselves is either moving us forward and making our lives more enjoyable or not. Science tells us our thoughts are basically just electrical impulses, and on average, we have between 50 and 70,000 thoughts a day. Now, that's a lot of data to shift through. So it's left up to our extremely powerful minds to decide which thoughts to pay attention to and which ones to let go of. And the two types of thoughts that primarily get our attention are those that are either physically and emotionally charged, or the ones that keep repeating over and over again and again. And whether we're paying conscious attention or not, over time, we tend to believe the thoughts that we've been holding on to for a long time. And these are either thoughts we've chosen consciously or simply unconsciously repeated over and over. Remember when you were a kid? Most of us had imaginations that could take us anywhere. We thought we could do anything. I'm going to be a doctor, a veterinarian, a teacher, an astronaut. Sadly, children who've been raised with overly critical parents can grow into adults whose unconscious thinking tells them they're not good enough or they never do anything right. Even if our parents were supportive, there's plenty of other voices telling us what we can't do. We learn all the shoulds and the should nots and the must and the must nots, and our very efficient subconscious minds make sure to remind us all the time of those shoulds and musts and can'ts. It's up to us to listen and to consciously choose to say no to what we don't want more of and to promote what we do want. Denials and affirmations. And as it says in Philippians 4:8, whatever is true, whatever is noble, whatever is right, whatever is pure, lovely, admirable, if anything is excellent or praiseworthy, think on these things. And when we think on these things and listen to those thoughts, our lives will prove to be everything that we could ever have dreamed them to be. Namaste.
I am the thinker who thinks the thought that changes things that shape my life. I am the thinker who thinks the thought I have the power to change my life. I am the thinker who thinks the thought that changes things that shape my life. I am the thinker who thinks the thought I have the power to change my life. And if you ask me who am I am wisdom, I am light, I am more than meets the eye, I cannot be defined. I am the thinker who thinks the thought that changes things that shape my life. I am the thinker who thinks the thought I have the power to change my life. I am the thinker who thinks the thought that changes things that shape my life. I am the thinker who thinks the thought I have the power to change my life. And if you ask me what am I am beauty, I am joy, I am more than meets the eye, I cannot be shape my life. I am the thinker who thinks the thoughts. I have the power to change my life. I am the thinker who thinks the thought that changes things that shape my life. I am the thinker who thinks the thoughts. I have the power to change my life. Brighten someone's darkest night. I'm so much more than meets the eye. I cannot be defined. I am the thinker who thinks the thought that changes things that shape my life. I am the thinker who thinks the thoughts. I have the power to change my life. I am the thinker who thinks the thought my life. I am the thinker who thinks the thoughts. I have the power to change my life. I have the power to change my life. I have the power to change my life.
We are grateful to Sue Riley for this beautiful song. And thank you, Nancy Ingalls, for your wonderful vocals this morning. Reverend Anita, another powerful message. We are pleased that each of you could join us for today's service, and we invite you now to join in our prayer of sharing. Divine love, through me, blesses and multiplies all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. And we do ask that you support Spiritual Life Center with a donation to this ministry. There are 4 ways to do so. First, online through our secure website, www.slctroy.com/give. A second way is to mail a check to Spiritual Life Center, 41340 Fox Run Road, number 106, Novi, Michigan, 48377. A third way is call my cell, 248-925-6214, and speak directly with me with credit card information for a one-time charge. A fourth way is to go to our weekly Friday email, and in there, in a couple places, you'll see donate now or donate online. We welcome anyone for joining us this first time for yourselves, and we invite you to join our email list. You may do so by visiting our website, www.slctroy.com, and in the upper right corner, you'll see Join Email List. If you just click on that, insert your name and email address, we'll see that each Friday you receive an email with the activities of the church, and it'll also include the link to the upcoming Sunday service and any upcoming classes. If you have a prayer request, send these to ronaldfscott@gmail.com, and we will forward these to our powerful prayer team of more than 30 persons. Amazing outcomes are being experienced for the many persons, loved ones of yours, that they are praying for and with. Next Sunday, I will be sharing with you the importance of living lightly, even in the midst of a world around us that at times seems depressing. And part of that message will include a segment, including the video, of a very special experience Lenore and I shared with Reverend Jack Boland a couple of years before his passing, something that very much impacted the lives of us all. You received an email this past week with details about our Spiritual Life Center Christmas party coming up on December 10th. Please let me know by phone, text, or email if you and your loved ones want to reserve a place for that. It will be for sure a marvelous coming together for us all. Reverend Martha is planning a class titled Living Untethered, Beyond the Human Predicament. It will be on Tuesday evenings during November. In this class, you will have the opportunity to awaken your consciousness. More details to come. Immediately following the end of today's service, everyone is invited to join us on Zoom for a time of social connection. The link was in your Friday email. But first, let's join together in our peace song and benediction. God bless.
Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. Let there be peace on earth, the peace that was meant to be, with God as creator, family all are we. Let me walk with my family in perfect harmony. Let peace begin with me. Let this be the moment now. With every step I take, let this be my joyous vow, to take each moment and live each moment in peace eternally. Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me.
And now as you go forth, know that the light of God surrounds you, the love of God enfolds you.
The Lord bless thee and keep thee.
The power of God protects you.
The Lord make his face to shine upon thee, and be gracious unto thee.
The presence of God watches over you.
The Lord lift up his countenance upon thee, and grant thee peace.
Wherever you are, God is.
Amen. Amen.
Go your way rejoicing. All is truly well.